Big game tonight for the Philadelphia Flyers as they try to bounce back from the 7-0 shellacking they received at the hands of Tampa Bay Lightning back home at the Wells Fargo Center against the San Jose Sharks. I'm Charlie O'Connor, PHLY Sports, here with your Flyers post-practice updates. Morning skate here at the Flyers Training Center in Voorhees just ended about a half an hour ago. We got a chance to talk with the suspended John Tortorella, who will not be behind the bench for the Philadelphia Flyers, suspended for 2 games as a result of refusing to leave the bench right away after being kicked out of that 7-0 shellacking at the hands of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He will miss tonight's game against the Sharks and also Thursday's game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tortorella will still be in the building. He will still be able to prepare his team for the game. He just can't be on the bench. So you'll see assistant coaches Brad Shaw and Robbie Thompson run the bench. But it's a big game. Look, the Sharks are not a very good team. The Flyers should win this game. This is a perfect time for a bounce back. But there's also pressure because you pretty much have to win this game. Right now, the Flyers are being chased by the New York Islanders. Now, the Islanders did lose last night to the Los Angeles Kings, but this is a tight race for that 3rd spot in the Metro, the last guaranteed spot in the playoffs from the division. The Islanders are 2 points back, and they have 1 game at hand, so this is pretty close to a functional tie between these 2 teams. The Flyers cannot afford to not get 2 points against a team like the Sharks, who you probably remember Flyers did lose to earlier in the year. They were the very first team that the Sharks beat this season when they were winless all the way into November. So it's a little bit of a revenge game for the Flyers, but it also shows you that if the Flyers don't come out with their A game, they can lose to the Sharks. They've done it once before, and now they have a much weaker defense than they did back in November. More on that in a bit. But going on to the lineups and what we know about them, we know that Sam Ersson is getting the start. Ersson struggled mightily on Saturday. Gave up quite a few weak goals, was pulled before the first period even ended. I suspect that plays into him starting. Again, I suspected that Sandstrom might actually get this game had Ersson played the entirety of Saturday. But given the fact that Ersson was pulled before the end of the first period, Sandstrom actually played the bulk of Saturday's game against the Lightning. It makes sense to throw Ersson back in, and this is also a good game for him maybe to regain some confidence if he's lost any after the way that Lightning game went. I'm personally not that worried about it. He was fantastic against the Panthers 2 nights before that Lightning debacle, so I expect Ersson to bounce back. But, hey, this is a big game, not in terms of opponent, but just in terms of needing these 2 points with the Islanders chasing you. Play your best goalie. Ersson is your best goalie regardless of his struggles on Saturday, so Ersson gets the start. As for what we know about scratches, so John Tortorella did not give us details on the lineup. However, it seems abundantly clear based on the fact that these 2 guys were still on the ice way after practice officially ended. It looks like both Cam Atkinson and Nick Deslauriers will be sitting tonight. And we're not 100% sure who that final scratch is, because right now the Flyers have 14 forwards on their roster and 7 defensemen. You remove Atkinson and Deslauriers out of the mix, they still need 1 more scratch. Now, Adam Ginning is still up with the team. He was recalled on an emergency basis because of the fact that Travis Sanheim got a little banged up on Saturday, and Igor Zamula missed Saturday's game due to illness. So, Sanheim and Zamula did return to practice today. Sanheim skated. He has a brace on his left knee, so he's still clearly a little banged up from that collision and that awkward fall on Saturday, but he skated in full. He said he's good to go. Zamula also skated. Zamula, however, is probably still a bit sick. My understanding is he was pretty ill this past weekend, coming back home from Tampa. So I do wonder if the Flyers might go 11-7, figuring that Sanheim isn't at 100%. Zamula probably physically isn't at 100% if he's been ill for 72 hours straight. Maybe you want to go 7 defensemen and use Ginning. If you do, I suspect that Bobby Brink will be the guy that comes out. If they go 6, it looks like Brink will play. So that's really the big question. Does Brink come back in if they go 12-6, or does he sit if they go 11-7? I guess we'll find out. That'll come to, pregame warm-ups is when we'll find out if Bobby Brink is in the lineup or not. But at the very least, Atkinson and Deslauriers appear definitely to be scratches, and it does certainly appear that Travis Sanheim will not miss a game, and Igor Zamula will be back in the lineup for tonight's game. As I said, it's a big one. Got to keep pace with these Islanders who, despite last night's 3-0 loss to the Kings, are red hot at the moment. and their next 2 games are against Buffalo and Ottawa, 2 games you would expect the Islanders to win. So the Flyers have to keep winning to make sure they keep the Islanders in their rearview mirror. I'm Charlie O'Connor with PHLY Sports. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
We all silly like the mayor.